NIH official admits funding gain-of-function research in Wuhan, after years of denial. Finally, Lawrence Tabak, the director of the National Institutes of Health, NIH, admitted to Congress on May 16 that U.S. taxpayers had funded gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology in China before the COVID-19 pandemic occurred. When asked,
Chair, Dr. Tabak, did NIH fund gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology through EcoHealth?
Lawrence Tabak replied,
"It depends on your definition of gain-of-function research. If you're speaking about the generic term, yes, we did, because..."
Tabak added,
"But this is research. The generic term is research that goes on in many, many labs around the country. It is not regulated, and the reason it's not regulated is it poses no threat or harm to anybody."
Dr. Bryce Nichols, a professor of genetics at Rutgers University and co-founder of the pandemic oversight group Biosafety Now said, "Tabak has engaged in obfuscation and semantic manipulation that is very frustrating and pointless. He is avoiding responsibility for risky research that could create pathogens with pandemic potential." Instead of addressing this directly, Tabak gave a useless response about how gain-of-function includes many types of experiments. In a letter to Congress in October 2021, Tabak admitted that NIH had funded a limited experiment at the Wuhan Institute of Virology to test whether spike proteins from naturally occurring bat coronaviruses circulating in China could bind to the human ACE2 receptor in a mouse model. He did not describe it as gain-of-function research, but revealed that EcoHealth failed to report that bat coronaviruses modified with SARS and MERS viruses had become 10,000 times more infectious, violating their grant terms. Immediately after, NIH removed the long-standing definition of gain-of-function research from its website the same day the letter was sent. Dr. Fauci has repeatedly denied that research at the Wuhan lab involved gain-of-function experiments, even clashing with Republicans during hearings. Fauci has consistently claimed, NIH has never and does not fund gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, contradicting what NIH Director Lawrence Tabak admitted above.
Dr. Fauci, do you still support funding of the NIH funding of the lab in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, with all due respect, you are entirely and completely incorrect that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute
Do they fund
of Virology.
Dr. Barrick?
In fact, EcoHealth received over $500,000 for their work with the Wuhan Institute of Virology, as part of a grant of over $4 million to study the emergence of bat coronaviruses between 2014 and 2024. This grant was revoked in 2020, restored in 2023, and recently suspended and proposed for debarment. The U.S. House of Representatives is still investigating whether COVID-19 accidentally leaked from a lab in Wuhan or not.